only brother. We constantly roam these icy South Pole seas, and yet never do we find anything fulfilling.
All I want is a full feeling in my stomach. I'm starving.
All of a sudden, out comes Aang, sending some serious Peter Pan vibes.
Yes, indeed.
Very much.
You know,
Very
played
much.
by a true impish charm by the fabulous Rachel Dratch, who is
Awesome.
We all know from Saturday Night Live, and you know, it's just like it's the classic Peter Pan, like a girl playing Peter Pan. Which-
Not just
long
a girl,
tradition.
a woman.
a woman.
A woman
Yeah,
playing a
yeah.
very
It's a
young...
long. I went to go
Yeah.
see what Mary Martin.
Yes, Mary Martin.
Yeah, Mary
very
Martin.
Good.
I went to see Mary Martin's final
You did?
tour.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
And I got to meet her, you know, because I'm part of the Peter Pan kind of world.
Right,
and so
sure.
They invited me to come see this last tour, and I got to meet her, and she was very cool, and it was just...
That's very cool.
I can't believe she was still playing Peter Pan at the...
Yeah.
You know, and she was killing it. And so
great.
Well, and I would say before, like now, I think there's just more fluidity and more gender bending
Yeah.
that happens. But as a young kid, I wanted to play those boy roles. I really
yeah.
did.
Oh,
like
neat.
I got to play Puck in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Like
Oh, wow.
I wanted.
Excellent.
I really didn't want the girl roles. Like I was Sandy in Grease in junior high. I would
I
have
could see
loved to have
that.
been like Kaniki or
Right,
Danny.
right.
And so the Peter Pan opportunity is like a big deal for a lot of women, I think, because it's it's a little bit of
No,
a
it's
shift
great.
from sometimes what you might get from a female role.
Especially in certain eras in Hollywood and in theater, they wrote guy roles way more better than girl roles.
They did.
Yeah.
you know?
They did.
And things are changing, which is great.
Yep.
Now, Appa in this play is a lot more like a Chinese dragon, which is very cool. Also
Yeah.
not very smart. I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, that's so cool. Like a Chinese dragon you see at a New Year's parade, but it was so cool.
Yeah,
Very
he looks
cool.
great. He does look great.
And then we get to meet Zuko and Iroh, both of them. Iroh's been reduced to really a hedonistic fool. It's not at all.
I know.
No.
And
We should have seen it coming, I
we
guess.
should have.
But
We should have.
yeah.
But that's kind of easy, isn't it? That's
It's
kind of
kinda
the
easy,
easy way to
yeah.
go. But Zuko, well,
Yeah.
I don't have time to stuff my face. I must capture the Avatar to regain my honor.
They make me look totally stiff and humorless.
Actually, I think that actor's pretty spot on.
and if you're wondering who's doing such a great job as Zuko, he has a familiar last name, doesn't he? I think it's Derek Basco.
Yeah, that's
your
my brother.
who also appeared in earlier episodes, didn't he?
Cave of the Two
yes,
Lovers.
that's right,
He played
Cave of the Two
Moku, who
Lovers.
played the guy like relaxing.
But you didn't remember that your own brother played Zuko
Well,
in this.
I
in this
do know. I was
episode.
told that. I know because it's like a trivia thing that comes up all the time. And this is one of the episodes I was watching. Is like I don't know if I saw this episode because I was like going back and watching them. There's a lot of episodes I saw, some I didn't see, but
Right.
this one I was like, this is the first time I really was taking in like, oh, that's my brother Derek. That's definitely Derek.
It was excellent casting.
It's
I
so
wish I
cool.
could take credit for it. It was not
So
my
good.
casting, but it was really good. We didn't mention about the scar. Zuko's scar. Actor Zuko's
Yeah.
scar is on the other side.
It's on the wrong
Yeah.
It helps us a little bit, I think, to distinguish.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Seems like it would be a fairly easy thing to verify since he is a member of the Fire Nation.
You'd think.
but
You'd think.
maybe not.
But you
He
know,
he was banished.
It
He wasn't
plays
around.
into later. Sokka has comments, isn't it? Sokka that has a comment
Oh,
about
yeah,
that being
yeah,
on the other
about
side.
that,
So
yeah.
we actually
Yes.
we have a callback on that. And Iroh is voiced by the brilliant John DiMaggio.
So he gets to do Toph, as you mentioned before, and he gets to do Iroh.
Exactly,
And
which
he's
is
spot-
so
he's
cool.
great.
And he's
Shout out
awesome.
to
as
Dimaj.
I know. the
Dimaj.
best.
Yeah.
You would know him as probably Bender from Futurama
Yes.
and a million things. It's hard to find it's hard to watch a cartoon that doesn't have John DiMaggio in it somewhere.
course.
Really, really talented man. And then we meet Momo. Who's actually, what is he? He's a flying
Yes.
rabbit
Monkey.
monkey something puppet.
what was
A
that?
really like,
With like slightly askew eyes.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah.
cheesiest.
But how
The
do we get
cheesiest
Fly
but
It Rabbit
perfect.
Monkey? We never talk about Momo as a rabbit monkey.
And isn't. And isn't.
And he isn't.
Yeah. They had to, some source was like, I don't know, it might
Let's
be
make
like
it some
a
critter.
yeah, and they're like, that's good enough for us.
And because all of our creatures were always two,
yeah.
they gave him
Right.
a double. He wasn't just a
Yeah.
flying lemur. He was a rabbit and
Right.
And then a monkey.
And a monkey.
And he
mean,
was an
it's
airbender, so there's not a lot of
Yeah.
airbenders that people are looking at in the world right now.
This is why I want to ask the guys who wrote it, all of whom you know from past episodes.
Hendrik.
But is that you could almost see that being a thing where they overheard, or like some fan was like, look, a flying lemur looks more like a monkey and a rabbit put
Right,
together. And then
probably.
being like, we'll just go ahead and incorporate that into
Right.
the
Because
scene.
this is the thing. A lot of us have seen rabbits.
Yeah.
and monkeys in life.
Uh-huh.
Not many of us seen lemurs.
True.
Fair.
And not flying ones.
Definitely not
not
flying
flying
lemur, and
ones.
I'd say most of us we know and have never seen a lemur ever.
Yeah. I have seen a lemur
Like-
Oh, neat.
at a zoo.
We also see in this episode, braggart, we also see Sokka being trained by Suki, and then we get to meet Boomy, who Dee Baker did for us. And of
great.
course, Dee
Flawless.
knew the original voice of Boomy,
Yeah.
so he could play with that. And
Yeah.
I mean, some of these voices, when these people came in, they were so good and so close that as I screened this to prep for this, I'm like, isn't that actually sounds like that is
Yeah.
Gray? No, it's actually
Yeah.
Tara doing Gray.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was just like, wow,
Which,
so good.
Speaking of Gray, we should make sure to mention that Scott Menville, right, played Sokka, and Gray does the Katara voice. And that voice is, you have to listen real hard, as you do with many of Gray's voices.
Right.
But like,
Yes.
I can hear Gray's speaking voice in Azula. You have to work harder, I think,
hear
to
her.
hear
Yeah, I didn't
to
realize.
hear that she does this lower. It's like there's something down
I
in
didn't think
here.
that was
It's-
Gray at all.
It's yeah.
Still, we cannot give up hope, for hope is all we have, and we must never relinquish it, even to our dying breath.
It's
It's-
And then who
excellent.
played
Such
Azula?
a
You're
great
telling me
voice.
Tara Strong played Azula?
Didn't she?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm quite sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I literally had to read the credits after I watched it again and just go, no, wait, who was that? Because it sure sounded
Yeah.
like we wouldn't have had Gray play her own character. And then it was like, well, that was Tara just being
great.
the brilliant that Tara Strong is.
Well, that was actually a question I was going to ask, which was like, I didn't know if there might have been a point when you were recording where it was almost too good. Like if there was a moment where it was like, you actually sound too much like.
No,
Yeah.
there never was. It was always
Yeah.
that was always kind of like, just go for it.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
just
yeah.
let everybody do what they're doing.
And they
'Cause
did great.
Again, I didn't cast it because Nickelodeon had a great casting department at the time.
Yeah.
And they, so many choices they made, I would have made the same ones. But then they
Yeah.
had some that were completely inspired.
Yeah.
And don't forget that we have a technical part of this that is the Screen Actors Guild allows us, essentially, as we know, to hire an actor for 3 voices for the
Right.
same price.
Right.
And as you start looking at how many characters speak in this episode, it could have, if we had like an actor only playing a single voice,
Sure.
Right.
it would have been astronomical. We couldn't have afforded to
Yeah.
produce the episode.
course.
And so they were so clever with using the actors that were already in the episode to do multiple voices that would cover, and then bring in when they needed to plus, when they needed more actors. And it's like Rachel Dratch, to have her come play was so perfect, and she does other things as well.
Yes.
And then to have Dee Baker and everybody, and Scott Menville, who I've known since he was 12 years old, and still sounds like a 12-year-old. But what was so great is when we talked to him, and he did know the series, he was familiar. But when we talked to him about the voice changing,
Yeah.
the male young voice
Right,
changing,
right, right.
he embraced that squeak in his voice and just does that.
It was
Oh,
so funny.
and what's so great about that is when we meet that actor backstage later, he doesn't have that squeak in his voice.
Right.
So
Yes.
this is the
I
actor
forgot about that.
putting on
I'm
the
so
squeak. The actor
glad
acting.
you brought that up.
So good.
I'm so glad you
So
brought
good.
that up.
So
That's so
good.
true.
Really
yeah,
clever.
there's something. What it reminded me of was that we did an episode, a live episode and panel at San Diego Comic-Con. Like it was one of the first things after the pandemic had
Right.
sort of like opened up enough that we could do it. Everyone was being super careful, but we did have some people from the audience come up and read.
Oh,
And
nice.
we had a guy who was cosplaying as Shaggy from Scooby-Doo
Right.
come up and read
Perfect,
Sokka.
perfect.
And that's what it made me think of when we were seeing
Right.
Scott's performance. He turned up the Shaggy just a little bit more. And I thought, oh my God, this is like it's
See,
like
now-
a tip of the hat to our Shaggy who did
This is a
Sokka.
voice direction now, I can tell.
Yeah.
Turn up the Shaggy.
Turn up the Shaggy.
So good.
Bend your ear for ad-free episodes with Avatar Braving the Elements Premium.
Subscribe today on Apple Podcasts.